December 30th, 2024. Mental health is real. Seek help, end the stigma. On the news this morning. On the news this afternoon, I beg your pardon. Stakeholder condemns use of church pulpit for politics. FCT minister hits back former governor Peter Odili. Vigilante arrests robbery gang in Diobu, Port Harcourt. President Tinubu to name ambassadors on the foreign scene. Family of South Korean plane crash victims angry over delay in identifying bodies. I'm Ifechuku Moyele with the news. Now, a public affairs analyst, Kennedy Allen Wakama, says it is wrong for churches to make their pulpits available to politicians to ventilate their anger. Dr. Allen Wakama said this after the FCT minister Nyesom Wike during a Thanksgiving service in a church in Oroigwe, Obiakpo, hit back at former Governor Peter Odili over his comment during a Christmas event. Speaking with correspondent Onyeka Chinwosu, Dr. Allen Wakama said the FCT minister should have responded through other channels.
While we concede to the right of the response to whatever criticisms that has been made against him by the former governor of Rivers State, Dr. Peter Odili, I think it is not proper, the forum which he used to respond to the criticism, to respect to Minister of the FCT. The right thing that he would have done would have even to call a press conference or perhaps use a non-religious platform rather than using a religious platform. It is really bad for the clergymen to be providing tribute as a platform for politicians to be playing politics.
On the comment made by the governor, Dwe Diri, of Bayelsa State during his Christmas visit to Governor Fubara that the two states are taking steps to settle their differences amicably, Dr. Allen Wakama said the visit has political undertone. He said the issue of Soko oil wells cannot be resolved by mere visit.
In all politics, you know that the former governor of Rivers State, Barrister Nyesom Wike, had some political differences with the governor of Bayelsa State, Governor Diri. When he contested for the presidency, the governor of Bayelsa State did not support him. I think that could have also created some friction. You know, this Soko oil well had always been a problem between the two states. And it's something that I think that the two governors cannot resolve on their own. It will require the intervention of the National Boundary Commission to define who are the real owners of the Soko oil field.
Now, yesterday, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, for the first time, directly criticized one-time Governor of Rivers State, Peter Odili, following his recent comment. The FCT Minister, who spoke at a Thanksgiving service for Rivers lawmaker Martin Amehule on Sunday, accused former Governor Odili of siding with Governor Siminalayi Fubara against him instead of playing a fatherly role in resolving issues.
He said, listen, who is not having the presidency? His wife is chairman of the government council. His daughter is commissioner. His other is a judge. He now is general overseer. So who is now taking the state and the permanent if he has nothing, I'm sure if there's any hope, he can even arrange a marriage for the government.
The FCT minister further highlighted what he did for former Governor Odili, recalling how he helped revive his political relevance.
In 2007, when he left power, he couldn't hear power because Amechi wasn't the governor then. He was governor. When I came in as governor in 2015, I won't use the word he resurrected, but I brought him back to life. I have to personally call Jonas Vega to build a mansion for him. He called 1 or 2 years. Now it's going to thank Wike. Now Wike has shown him love.
Now, the FCT minister's criticism comes after former Governor Peter Odili appeared to have referred to him when he spoke on how one man failed in his efforts to capture the state as a private estate.
The battle that the governor has gone through from the 25th of October 2023 through the course of 12 months, not for himself, not for his family, but in the interest of our dear state. It was an existential fight for the soul of our state, to reaffirm and reassert that the state can never be anybody's personal property. God does not stop halfway. What God begins, he concludes. Full marks, no minuses. And so we thank God for the signs of his presence in our state.
In another development, former River State lawmaker Tamunosisi Gogojaja has commended Governor Fubara and his Bayelsa State counterpart, Governor Doyediri, for the steps taken to rebuild and strengthen what he called the long-standing relationship between the two states. Now, as you may know, since 1999, Rivers and Bayelsa State have rarely collaborated on matters that are of mutual benefit. Between 1999 and 2007, Dr. Odili, the then governor, and Diepriye Alamieye Siega and Goodluck Jonathan of Bayelsa State were seen as competitors. Between 2007 and 2012, the then governor, Chibike Amechi, and his Bayelsa counterpart, Temipre Silva, got by. But from 2012 to 2015, still under the Amechi administration and his Bayelsa counterpart, Seriake Dixon, they were seen as competitors. From 2015 to 2023, under the Wike administration and his Bayelsa counterpart, Seriake Dixon, and later Doyediri, they rarely collaborated. Dr. Gogojaja speaks on this in an interview with correspondent Emekotoka.
Don't forget that Alamisia was governor of Bayelsa and when Odile was governor of Rivers. They may have different political ambitions, but that didn't affect the relationship between the sister states. Now we've got to the issue of Soku Oil Well. I also feel that there wasn't any hard stance during the time of Odile up to the time of Omeha and Amechi. However, I think that what severed any cordial relationship between the two states was the demolition of a property that belongs to Bayelsa State.
He said disputes between the two states have historically been resolved through legal channels rather than confrontational or destructive actions.
The government of Bayelsa saw that as a hard stance. It wasn't friendly, it was very hard. I like to advise that irrespective of your personal differences, don't bring it into governance. I think that ego came in, personal ambition. I think that what is paramount in the interest of the two leaders now is the consideration of the interest of the people of Rivers and Bayelsa, because they have been the same people.
Recall that Governor Diri, while leading a delegation of some leaders of his state on a Christmas visit to Governor Fubara at the Government House in Port Harcourt on Saturday, disclosed that discussions are ongoing between both states to resolve the demolition issue through an out-of-court settlement. Photos of chatty moments shared between the two governors have been circulating online. The property located in OGRA Port Harcourt was demolished in May 2023 under the Wike administration. Moving on, as 2024 winds down, a professor of law, Richard Nwokocha, has criticized the judiciary's performance this year. Professor Nwokocha, a lecturer in the Department of Public Law at Rivers State University, argued that some court judgment on political matters created uncertainty and eroded public trust in the judiciary.
My expectation is that we will witness more decisions that we found right to the ears of a common man, whether he's a lawyer or not a lawyer, but decisions that will reflect more the doing of justice. Justice should not only be done, but should be manifestly seen to be done. But there is a wide gap right now between justice being done and whether the people can see justice being done. It's not rocket science, and we should be able to come back to where we were in our days of glory of the judiciary when we were even exporting to other jurisdictions to help other countries organize themselves.
Now, he expressed hope that in 2025, the judiciary will deliver rulings that better reflect the core issues presented in cases before it. To security matters now. The Jobu vigilante says they arrested the suspected leader of a 5-man robbery gang, David Jaja, during an attempted car theft in Port Harcourt. The commander of Jobu vigilante, Prince Amatari Bipelede, told journalists that the incident occurred at Emenike by Ojoto, where the gang attempted to snatch a Volkswagen Jetta at gunpoint from a taxi driver, Ekwe Ngozi, after taking him on a drop from Casablanca in GRA. He said his team were alerted by the commotion and rushed to the scene, which prompted the robbers to flee. He said the gang was tracked to Egede by Ilabuchi and were arrested with a 6-round revolver containing 3 live rounds. He said his accomplices managed to escape. The suspected gang leader, David Jaja, also spoke to journalists.
Day 5, we go carry a drop of Casablanca. We carry and say we go my one clinic. See we get agreement. See person we enter the motor, go buy the motor for this business. We come carry and come carry us reach here. As we reach another process to point and go come they get agreement. So we know if you come involve, come arrest us.
The taxi driver, Ekwe Ngozi, also spoke.
I go up in the evening time. Now, 2 boys then come meet me for a drop to go to Emenike by that hospital. I said, okay, how many on a day? Then say then day 5. Then contribute the money, reaching money where I tell them 3,005. We are going in Olu Abasanjo police station. Then say my about police, by court police. I follow fruit market to Okeja. Around the line, when I want drop them, then begin come point me gun. Say my stop, then drag my steering.
The Jobu vigilante commander, Mr. Bipelede, said the suspect alongside the recovered weapon has been handed over to the police for further investigation and prosecution. Still to come, President Tinubu to name ambassadors in coming weeks. Stay with us. The senior special advisor on foreign affairs and protocol to the president, Ademola Oshodi, said this while speaking on Channels Television. He criticized those accusing the president of delaying the appointment of ambassadors, saying the past administration took 20 months to put ambassadors in place. The Senate says Nigerians should not expect the passage of the 49.7 trillion naira budget for the 2025 fiscal year before January 31st. The chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Publicity, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, told newsmen that budget defense by ministries, departments, and agencies of the federal government will commence on January 7. The Senate spokesman also said the joint committees of the House of Representatives and Senate on Appropriations would present the final report of the budget on January 31st. President Bola Tinubu had presented a budget of 49.7 trillion naira to the joint session of the National Assembly on December 18. And now to business. Telecommunications operators in Nigeria have warned that service disruptions are imminent unless tariffs are adjusted to account for escalating operational costs. The chairman of the Association of Licensed Telecommunications Operators of Nigeria, Gbenga Adebayo, issued the warning in a statement today. Mr. Adebayo said the telecom sector is under siege, citing soaring operational costs driven by inflation, volatile exchange rate, and rising energy prices. In entertainment, singer Tiwa Savage has hinted at retiring from music, saying her next studio album might be her last body of work. The 44-year-old who made this announcement on her Instagram page said, and I quote, "I'm tired. I have tried." In sport, Liverpool striker Mohamed Salah says his focus remains on winning the Premier League with Liverpool and not winning the Ballon d'Or.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
Hundreds of grieving people camped out at Muan International Airport in South Korea are furious that they have not yet seen the bodies of their loved ones who died after a Jeju airplane crash landed on Sunday. Amid angry shouts, Police Superintendent General Nawono explained that the delay was due to officials taking their time to carefully identify all 179 victims whose bodies were badly damaged in the crash. The Boeing 737-800 flight, operated by Jeju Air, had 181 people on board, including 6 crew members, and was arriving from Bangkok, Thailand, when it crashed.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
That's a wrap on the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Stakeholder Kennedy Allen Wakama has condemned the use of church pulpits to play politics. The FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has hit back at former Governor Peter Odili. Vigilante group Indiobu has arrested robbery gang. President Tinubu is to name ambassadors in the coming weeks. On the foreign scene, you heard family of South Korean plane crash victims are angry over delay in identifying bodies. The news was edited by Onyeka Chimusu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyole. Many thanks for listening.
We connect you to the world. We connect you to the vicinity. We are Nigeria Info.